and increase your productivity. And so you were talking about financing and all that. Indeed, this year we didn't make any provision in the budget for the 24-hour secretariat because they are able to raise the financing themselves. And so they are on their own, they're paying their bills, and they're running their office, they're doing their coordination, and I'm sure that it's not going to be a huge drag on the budgets of the government. If it comes to financing and other things, they're going to leverage, like I said, the Development Bank of Ghana Venture Capital Fund. If it comes to infrastructure, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund is there. It's going to be involved in drawing electricity into the Volta Lake Economic Corridor. We'll let the Ministry of Energy, Electricity Company, VRA, pool electricity to the zone. There is a private developer who is working on an inland port with the International Finance Corporation in order that we can move products up with the rail. It brings it to the port and loads it. The old Akosobo port, the rail didn't go there because they said the vibration of the train could disturb the dam, so they took it onto the other side, Mpakadang. There's a 7-kilometer to a place called Esikuma, which is a natural inland port. And IFC and a private developer are looking to develop an inland port there. So I envision, next to it, a whole area of land where industries can work because they'll have the advantage of the port and the rail line to bring their goods down. So we'll see how that goes. Quality of human resources. We have to upskill our young people, and that's why we set up the Million Coders program. It is ongoing. We're giving them skills in software, coding, and hardware, networking, and all that. We can train them to a certain level, but private sector also has to take them up and give them the additional training that is necessary to suit your demands. And so I believe that is something that we can do. We are talking of 1 million coders. It's already oversubscribed. We have over 140,000 applications, and we're bringing them in batches and training them and graduating them. So I'm sure that if you look among those who are graduating from our coders program, you'll find some people who are suitable to do the kind of work you want. Military training, we already announced that, and the pilot is about to start. Some of our national service people will be enrolled to go to the barracks and have some military training in order that we can have some more discipline in our attitudes and, the way we carry ourselves. And so that's something we're working on. Ease of doing business, we deteriorated over a while. Ghana used to place first in West Africa on the World Bank ease of doing business. Unfortunately, over the years, we retrogressed, and so we need to recapture that. And I believe that in the manifesto we talked about exemptions for plant and machinery that are especially targeted at the agricultural sector. It's something that we have to bring the appropriate legislation, and that is something that the Secretariat would advise us on. So that if somebody is bringing a whole plant to set up a factory to produce in Ghana, the person should be able to bring in the plant without any hassle and get the necessary exemptions for it. The special economic zones, I've been asked to come and visit. I haven't done that yet. The minister is here to set a date for me to come to Afienya to see what you guys are doing there. But it's something that we are prioritizing, and the Minister of Trade and the Free Zones Secretariat are both working to see how we can encourage more anchor tenants into the special economic zones. One of the major problems they complain about is the 70-30, that you have to export 70% of the products and sell only 30% in the market. And so we'll look at what the special concerns are, and then if we have to amend the legislation, we would be happy to do that. Let's see what else. B5 talked about exemptions. It's a crime to sell items that you have brought in under exemption on the open market. And so if anybody is doing that, we must arrest them and apply the sanctions. If you bring iron rods in as a mining company under exemption, you're supposed to use it yourself. You cannot sell it on the market. And so if you have any evidence of that, if you let us know, we'll deal appropriately with whoever is doing that. And so we'll try and protect our own and make sure that your businesses flourish. The Secretariat will be autonomous. It will be independent. It will have all the authority that it needs to be able to push things through so that it's not bogged down in bureaucracy, and it will report directly to the president. I think I have about 3 or 4 more. We will maintain macroeconomic stability, I can assure you of that. And okay. They spoil the party when it's getting interesting. So let me just wrap it up. We will maintain economic stability. We are determined to maintain fiscal discipline to make sure that we don't upset the macro, because it's unfortunate. I mean, you are investors, you invest your money, but you don't control how the economy is run. And so you have somebody comes, either overborrows, overspends, and then suddenly the economy, macroeconomy is unstable, and it affects you directly. And so we need to put in place the things that will make sure that whoever manages the economy is fiscally responsible, so that we don't create the situations where you are not able to predict what is going to happen in the economy. Right now, we're under a program. Yes, when I did the CEO Summit, I talked about our meeting the targets of the program and exiting next year when the program ends. This morning, I was reading a social media post, and somebody says, no, we should never come out of the IMF program because it makes governments disciplined, so we should just continue the program forever. And I said, no. Even when we exit the program, we'll still be under Article 4. That allows IMF to be able to come and make an assessment of how we are doing in terms of our management of the economy. So we'll still be under Article 4 of the IMF program. We are doing a correction this year. Last year, there was a slippage. Instead of a surplus on the primary balance, we went negative 3.9. And so the adjustment we're making in this year's budget is from negative 3.9 to positive 1.5. And so far, we're on track to achieve it. We might even overshoot the 1.5. By the mid-year review, when the minister comes, we'll see what the first half numbers are. And based on that, if we have to make any adjustments to create more fiscal space, to invest in infrastructure, to make things better for you, it's something we'll look at. We intend to look at the Public Procurement Act to use government's economic muscle to help local production. Government is the biggest spender in the economy. Total budget of about 222 billion cedis every year. If we amend the Public Procurement Act, that gives priority to made-in-Ghana goods whenever government is buying supplies. I think that it will help the local producers and give them an advantage over the imported goods. So that's something that the 24-hour Secretariat would look at. Okay, I'm happy you clapped for that. And so finally, I think that these are the main issues that were raised. I've tried to answer as many of them as possible. But like I said, our minister will be here, and Mr. Chuchu Poku will be here. And so if there are any further questions, you can probably do one more round, and then we'll call it a day. So thank you very much for attending. And we look forward to launching the policy. As I said, next Tuesday, it will be presented to the public, and you will be given the opportunity to add your input so that we can finalize it. And once we finalize it, it means we are at the implementational stage. Thank you very much.